So right on, here we are now. This is a veg patch that we're going to be playing around with this year. It's a lovely bit of ground. It's a lovely walled garden around us. It's been used before. The soil's in really good nick, but it's a chance for us to get in there and make a start from scratch. First thing we're going to be doing is digging. Got to blow the cobwebs away with a nice bit of digging. So I'm going to carry on. We'll see you in a minute when we're halfway through. We'll have a little chat about what we're doing. See you in a minute. So, when I was at college, they taught us the endless task of double digging. It's where you dig out a first trench, take your soil away, and put it at the far end where you'll finish digging. And then you have the joys of getting right in the bottom of that trench and loosening up everything that's underneath. Often a good idea maybe if you've been rotivating, you can get rotivation pans under the soil. Anyway, that's the proper way to do it. But for the rest of us, mere mortals, it's a bit of a pain in the neck really. So I'll double dig this one trench, and that's the last time I'm probably going to double dig in the whole of my entire life. But what we will do is single dig it properly, which is where you take the first trench out and then get your dung and spread that from the bottom of your trench like that. I'm trying not to say like so, because you watch so many people and they want to call everything beautiful and do it like so. So I'm trying to avoid that. And I've also never written lol at the end of a text. I can't stick that either. There you are. I don't know if you can see that. This is well rotted down. Look at the worms in it, look. Last thing you want is really strawy stuff. You want it well rotten down. And then, you've got the dung in the bottom. Then you take your next row, dig that out and chuck it over the top and upside down, burying those fibrous rooted weeds. If you see any tap roots as you go along, stop and pick them out. Otherwise, you should be good to go. You might find a tree root, you never know. Yeah. I reckon we'll have this dug in a couple of hours. Nobody else here does. Them of little faith. We'll see. Quite prepared to be wrong, I usually am, but that's being married, I suppose. There we go. Now into fast motion. So what we got here, when you're digging it over, there's some weeds you can leave in the ground and bury them over a little bit. Underground they won't come back. So we call these generally fibrous rooted weeds or plants. See, that have a fibrous root. What you're going to be careful of is these buggers, tap rooted. So you want to take those out. With a tap root, every time you break that root up, you basically propagated it. So if you just go and cut it up and leave it in the ground, all you've just got is more of that particular weed. So make sure you dig them out. And here comes my dung. Brilliant, crack on again. So seed potatoes come from Scotland, which is so many feet above sea level, away from blight. So when you was growing spuds, you got seed spuds from Holland, that is on sea level. How the hell does that work?
Well, I never quite understood that, but they were either Scottish, Northern Irish,
Yeah.
or Dutch, and the Dutch ones were always the most expensive because presumably they're much more high tech than growing them in a little croft up in Scotland.
Yeah. Because I thought it's just simply that the spud was so many feet above sea level, so it didn't get blight, which is fungal disease, and fungus is going to live up there.
Yes,
What the hell?
Spores, but
So they must have made them in sterile greenhouses or something.
well,
like
I think they probably did. But as far as I'm aware, the whole Brexit deal has meant that as of now, Scotland and Northern Ireland can't export seed potatoes to Europe because Michel Barnier has deemed that they won't meet their strict hygiene requirements.
Yeah.
They've done it, you know, all these
potato.
bloody decades.
A potato.
Yeah. So I'm sure it'll change because there's no reason for it not to. But,
The same as the fishermen, isn't it? They voted for Brexit so they
they
could get
well
the
screwed.
waters back. Well, they would lose their European
Yeah,
market,
yeah,
poor buggers. Should have seen that coming, really.
But they are far happier now they're British, according to Rees-Mogg. Did you hear him say that?
No, I can't watch too much news. I do try and put it on. I get sucked into the American nonsense with Trump, the crash test telly.
Oh, that's been, that's been
And Brexit, I don't know. We just hide away in the corner of the field. I mean, not a vine weevil. Leather jacket? Reckon leather jacket? We do. I do anyway. So that, if I'm right, could be wrong. Crane fry larvae, so that's daddy long legs. That's a baby daddy long legs. They can be bad in the garden, but they're not all that, are they? I think grassland for farmers, they can be a problem. They can munch up the roots on grassland, but I think it's a problem for us. We found one anyway. We'll chuck it. So we've just done tap roots, isn't it? Nettles there, look, that's the same thing, that's a nettle root. Rhizomus root, I believe that's called. But anyway, same thing, if you chop that one up, that one's all going to grow again. So we pulled that one out. That one there, I think that looks like couch grass. Yeah, that is couch grass, look, there's a piece on the end there, look. So yet again, that's a nasty one. If you break that one up, you've propagated it as well. And a tiny little piece will grow, so we pulled that one out. So look for that one. You can't miss it when it comes up. It's really bright coloured. Careful with that one. So go on. Back to digging anyway. Cheers. Right. That's that. I haven't got to the end because you've run out of dung, but I think that'll do for a day. What have we been? 3 hours doing that now? So I'm quite happy with that. It's not RHS, but I haven't got time to do that anyway, and I'm not exactly RHS, but I think you'll get a job done. And with a trusty fork. Didn't mention this one. I've been told on social media that you should never, ever try and sell things. So I can definitely say there's no way you can buy this at Treviska Garden Centre for £29.99. You won't be able to get it there. And this one definitely won't be pressure washed off and going back for sale tomorrow. So anyway, enjoy digging your garden. See you next time.